Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 87 of the 72 review. A happy new year to each and every one of you that's come back to watch us ramble about EFL, Championship, League One and League Two. It's been quite a long break. I was looking back and I think it was early December that we knocked it on the head. December's a very, very busy month. So this one's going to be set up slightly differently to what we normally do. We normally kind of go through all three leagues, touch on a number of games, what's happened over the weekend. But this time we're just going to kind of have a bit of a refresher, bit of a wrap up for Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, Doncaster Rovers, and then any club that you guys follow. Get your kind of festive period in the chat and we'll talk about those as well. But yeah, slightly different focus on this video. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Please consider clicking subscribe. And then we've got the usual culprits on the panel today. We will start just below me. It is Ian. His handle is It May Be Coming Together. Let people know who you are, what you do and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a Rotherham United season ticket holder. And when the Millers are away, I'm up and down the country taking in EFL games and vlogging them whenever I can. But I just love football, and particularly the EFL.
Good stuff. We've got quite a few comments coming in already. We've got Mark. Hello. We've got Lucy. Donny played shocking. We will get on to Donny in a little bit. Paddy Power. January window is going to play a big part in League One. We will move on to League One once we've hit the Championship. We've got Lizzie, who's a regular evening boys. We've got James, who's also a regular Newport County fan. Terrible festive period, 3 defeats in a row. Lucky that Morecambe got called off, so we'll go to League Two towards the end of this episode. But we are going to start in the Championship, which leads me on to introducing Jake. Let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Let me just dust this off. Yeah, it still works.
It's working.
Yeah, I am Puncture 41. I cover everything Sheffield Wednesday, basically. I'm kind of the guy that just is a bit of a nutter that just reports on everything and do stuff. Today, it's been 3 videos about Josh Windass apparently going to Santos of all places. But yeah, I just cover my club. I love my club and I like trying to keep a positive vibe and a positive attitude thing. Sometimes it gets a bit difficult when you put your face out there and you cover your club. We've all had it where we've had seasons where we end of it, we look at it and we go, do we want to do this again? And then we sit down for 6 weeks and we're bored and we're like, I want to do it again. So it's that kind of thing.
Definitely do. Okay, let's get on to the Championship. Did you have a good Christmas, Jake, anyway? And a good New Year?
It was a good Christmas. It was good. It was a busy one for me because I've got 2 kids who were born in the same week.
Yeah, birthdays and Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, it was really good. It was chilled out, but Christmas Eve, not so much at 8 in the morning. My little one scratched what I thought was under my eyelid, and then Boxing Day I went to minor injuries and he scratched along my pupil. So having to go in and get that sort of, but it was good. It was very chilled. I think it's the most chilled Christmas we've ever had. I've still got to do a Christmas technically in January of my lot in Donny, which will be some point in January, which that'll get sort of whenever. So I've still got to buy technically some more Christmas presents. But apart from that, everything's been good. It was just nice and chilled. And the football wasn't that bad as well.
Days. We've got a few more comments that have come in. Dale, evening all, happy New Year. We've got John as well. Hello, gents, happy New Year. We've also got John, Birmingham fan. Yep. John, evening all. What shirt is Ian wearing this week? This is kind of an ongoing thing. It's Schalke, isn't it?
It's Schalke, yeah. Tell him the Villa one's in the wash.
It's in the snow outside.
John said that your plan is not up to scratch, Jake.
Don't. We have the conversation every year. Me and I laugh now.
Should have kept your pants a few weeks later.
I laughed, literally turned around and said to me in March, I've got a day off.
Get off.
Yeah, it's lambing season. Go away.
So, as you can see across the bottom of the screen, we've got this weekend's Championship results ticking across the bottom. Like I said at the start, if you've only just joined, we're not going to go into too much detail on
too many games. We'd be here.
Yeah, we haven't got enough time. I still wanted to kind of keep it to 1 hour. So, like I say, just a wrap-up session. But if you follow a different club from Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham or Donny, get your festive kind of review in the chat, and we will bring your club up and read your comment at that point. So Championship, it's been decent for Sheff Wednesday. 1 defeat in 5.
Yeah, it's not
Can't
been too
grumble at
bad.
that.
Very good.
You can't grumble at it because we played some pretty decent football. Stoke game 2-0, great. Middlesbrough game had to do what we've done pretty much a lot this season. Have a really bad first half and then come back into it in the second half. Preston, we were just poor. Preston, we were actually just a little bit poor. But the problem is we let teams get into games early doors. And that's our issue. Like, we either have a really good first half and dominate it, or second half we go to pot. And we are very much a team that can't do 45 minutes at times, and it shows. And our biggest problem, and you can tell what it is straight away, we concede so many goals. At the back, we are defensively lacking because it's so easy to go against us. You can just put a cross in the ball. We don't defend the back post or the second or the first post, and then it's an easy flick on. Like you see Preston first goal, no one's marking him. He's a free man. And that's not what you do. Derby game was just incredible. That Josh Windass goal, just wow.
Oh, that is the goal of the season.
If that doesn't get a podcast, I will be very annoyed because there's a lot of Derby fans who were going, "Oh, he fluked that." No, he hasn't. He's
not fluked it. That's all.
There's also a certain podcast that has said that anyone can do that, and I think everyone knows which podcast I'm on about and seen it. The podcaster in question has been offered by a lot of Wednesday fans to come and go do the halftime challenge at Wednesday and give him 10 balls, and it's got to be similar position. And fully enough, he's not replied to that yet. Funny that, isn't
it? I got the impression when I was watching it, because I saw it the day after, and for me it just come across as wanted to say something edgy and against the grain to try and get clicks or views or whatever.
It don't feel that way, but you can also tell
because it's got quite a lot of engagement. So
you can also tell that his podcast host was like, "I don't need this week." After when he did, like, I knew you were going to say this. I think the thing is, you know, it's bad when Josh Windass's mum gets involved on Twitter. But it was an absolutely cracking goal, and we played really well. But again, we let Derby get back into it, and it was nervy. It was really, really nervy to do it, and it's that whole thing. He hasn't replied because. Oh yeah, good point.
Everyone could score that, Jake.
Yeah, apparently. But then we played Millwall at weekend where we were doing really well, playing some good football. And again, it's defensive frailties that's just letting us down. It's the difference between having about 13 points instead of the 12 we got. But we're still 3 points off. If we can get some stuff in the transfer window with what Danny keeps saying in the media, it doesn't sound like he's had a conversation yet with DC about it yet, which is worrying. We got a fan forum on the 15th of Jan. What a time to put one in when it's your transfer window. Well done. That could go either way. Danny's even turned around and said, ask the people in like 11 days. It's worrying that this keeps happening, but I also don't think that when they owner likes to plan ahead. I think he likes to do it in the actual moment. So it's like you do January, you do it. As the ball come back from that penalty, that penalty was poor, but I understand why.
Before we went live about Sheff Wednesday and penalties, there was about 500 days, was it? Something like that?
500 and odd days. I think it was 74 games. We were equaling the Port Vale record. That's what we did when we got the one.
Now you're getting one every game. At least one every game.
Yeah, we've missed since then. We scored one and missed two.
I'll tell you something.
Would you rather go back to not having penalties, Jake? That's the question.
I'll tell you something, Jake. Wednesday's the place to go if you want goals, isn't it? I mean, look at them last 6 games.
Yeah.
And raining goals.
It's annoying because if we could just shut the back up, we'd be so much higher up. But we got defensive injuries. In that game, we lost 2 defenders as well, which was annoying. And it was a really good start. Jan Valerie's goal was really good.
Yeah.
But I want to give a big shout out to the youngster, Otabayo. First senior goal for the club. And that's how you score it. Yeah. But the fact that an 18-year-old lad's come off the bench, not ready because it's an injury, and the calmness he had to take that goal.
Well, he took it really well.
And the thing is, what I liked about it, you could tell the fans was like wanting him to go celebrate, and he was like pointing to the fan going, no, we've got to get back into this, back. And I think that shows a level of maturity I like. And he had no club at the end of last season. Burnley let him go. And I just hope we can push on and just use some of these youngsters we've got. But it's one of those things where it's, hey, ATID, I hope you're well, mate. Your Christmas all came a little bit too late. But we got.
Jake, that Ugbo should have never took the pen. We were talking just before we started the stream that it's a difficult one, isn't it? Obviously,
I get
it's
it.
low on confidence, and it's.
I get what the players have done.
Windass scored 5 in 5.
Yeah.
He should have really been.
He should have took it.
Anybody with kind of an ounce of common sense, Windass takes that penalty. But as a collective, the squad have obviously given it to Ugbo because
Windass had the ball in his hands, and he gives it to Ugbo. And Danny said there's a set rule. We do have a list of penalty takes and stuff, but I think the players have gone. They want to get this monkey off his back because he's come in for big money, and he's not been able to get a goal yet. Last season, he was doing really well. And he's been unlucky at times where he's had chances. He's got 2 in the cup, but he's got none in the league. And I think they were like really wanting to try and get that monkey off his back. And I think he's a player that overthinks everything. So I think the moment he stepped up, because he stutters a little bit, and I wonder if he just changed his mind where he's going to hit it, kind of thing. And because he changed his mind, his body's not in the right direction, and that's why he guided it. But the nice thing was the fans started chanting his name as soon as he missed it. They were chanting his name when he was coming off at half time. The players immediately, Bannon, Windass, Valerie, Masaba, immediately went and pulled him up and to go, come on, we're in this together. And then when he was going off, Masaba had his arm around him and Danny was talking to him. And when he came back on, he looked like he had his confidence a little bit back again and saying, right, let's do this. It's like there's a lot of people who have criticized him online, and it's like, go and take a penalty yourself then in front of those people. Dan, you took a penalty in an e-truck game in front of people. It's not as easy as people think.
No, that had nothing riding on it, and I fell out my ass. I put it away though.
But it is that thing though. Everyone's had that kind of situation where they think they can do it. It's like the Josh Windass thing.
Maybe. And it is maybe.
And at the end of the day, credit for him to take it. He could have quite easily given it back to Josh and said, I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
And walked away. He wanted to try. Yeah.
But if he'd have done that, you'd have probably won the game.
Yeah. But here's the thing. What happens if Josh missed that would have been his second penalty he missed, or he got saved. People will be saying, why Josh taking penalties, or if Barry missed it. It's the same thing. Somebody would have said, why is X, Y, or Z taking it? So you can't win.
It's easy with hindsight, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
If it goes the other way, I know what you're saying, Ian. Like you've given a penalty to somebody low on confidence and they've missed it, and it's potentially cost you 3 points. You've got 1 out of the game, so it's not all doom and gloom. But
not a disaster, no.
Yeah, but if he does put that away, his confidence increases. Yeah. Will that have a positive effect then for a longer period of the season where it might actually then hit a little bit of form? So that risk and reward might be balanced in the give it up though. If he puts it away, it's probably one of the easiest chances to score a penalty, although it is kind of there's a lot of pressure on it. It's just you versus the keeper, and
it's a catch-22 because you got the thing where you score it, you're confident go up, you miss it like he did, he confident probably go rock bottom.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of the fan base turning around and saying hook him at half time. I was like, nah, that's the wrong thing to do. That will kill his confidence.
That'd make it even worse, wouldn't it?
Like one of the things, there's a really good quote in Alex Ferguson's book, and he pulled a player off in 15 minutes of the game, and it killed the player. He never got the player back.
Yeah.
And he said, never pull them off in 50 minutes. Always do it at half time if you're going to do it, because you stuck with that game plan for the whole week of what you're going to do. Let them have half time and then pull it. If you pull them early, you could kill a player.
Yeah, Worko echoes what you said already, Jake, to do with your defensive frailties. He said, to be fair, it was defensive errors that cost us the 3 points. The penalty wasn't really that great a deal. A lot of fans online are making something out of nothing. It's just one of those, isn't it? It's what it is. But 2 wins, 2 draws, and a defeat in your last 5.
I'll take it.
Puts you in 10th.
Puts us in 10th, yeah. I think it's 3 points off playoffs.
Yeah,
like
3 points off playoff.
You just snatched their hands off, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, after where we were last season, I would have took your hands off and gone, that's fine with me. I said start of the season mid-table, and so far we're getting mid-table. My worry is if we don't get the backing Danny wants, or the defensive cover we need, we could slip down the table, because you look at teams below us who are starting to pick up a little bit. But
do you need to get players out before you can bring them in?
We don't. To be fair, we don't know. All we've been told by Danny is that we've not had the conversation about players yet and transfer. And they said, do you see any player coming in by the league game? He said, no, not at this moment. But that can change. A lot can change. I don't know if this is Danny sending a message to DC and going, let's get this sorted and taught. Let me have a player. Because he had backed him last Jan. So it's all about what we get in. It's a weird one, because Wednesday fans are not used to manager coming out and like calling the gaffer out while they're in charge. But I think it's a very risky game for someone who's a new manager as well. Like, if you do it now and then you go to another club, will they be worried that you're going to do the same if something happens? But I get it. I get why you're doing it, but tread carefully, because we have a manager that can be trigger figure happy at times. So
yeah, definitely. While we're on the championship, ATID is in the chat. He summed up our guy off here. Holy fuck. It's been a few weeks, hasn't it? He said a lot has happened since we last met. Obviously, Wayne Rooney is no longer at Plymouth.
You get
another job.
No,
do you think
not
he will get another job?
Not in the UK.
No.
I think he might get another one in America.
Yeah, possibly. But as far as a festive period goes, for a team that's struggling in the league, 3 draws, it's not too bad, is it? I know it's not really helped the position
3 points from 6 games is awful.
Yeah, I suppose. So.
And they conceded 8 goals in a week.
And all that. I mean, if you notice, there's 4 Argyle away games there.
Full honesty, it was utter shite.
There's 4 away games there. We nil under Argyle, every one of them.
There were too many games where you could see it needed to get done. It needed to be done. And for whatever reason, they wouldn't pull the trigger yet.
So what do you think needs to change then for Plymouth?
Don't hire a Gausser again. Because that is literally I keep getting from Plymouth fans. I don't want another Gausser.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to be said if Schumacher went back. But I also don't think he should go back.
Cost ATID 40 quid a tenner a goal at Coventry. Yeah.
Well, tell him I'm going to Brentford next Saturday, so I'm going to bring a calculator, because Brentford are on fire at the moment, aren't they? We got 5 yesterday.
Like, generally, if you were Plymouth, who will you get right now as the manager? Who's
available?
There's a lot available. It's what they can afford.
Yeah.
It's finding somebody with the right pedigree who's been there and done it as well.
Yeah, exactly. I would have said Robbins, but Stokes got him.
Would you turn around and go to Warnock at Torquay 6 months?
ATID's just said enjoy Ian. He's on about the Brentford Plymouth game. He'd rather run full wall with a boner.
Yeah, that's a good one. That I'm not.
What about Warnock for 6 months?
Yeah,
till the end of the season.
And he'd do it as well.
He's already down there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's who you link with ATID? That's the question. Who's been linked with the job? That's the one thing I'd say, because Cooper could do it, but Cooper would have to be backed. Like, I think you look at this week, they've just sold Schumacher and Duff. Duff's not a bad shout, but it's a different from Irish League to now, but he had done well at the Irish League. And he got a good reputation. God, that makes me feel old, that Duff managing now and all.
Yeah, HID, yeah, Schumacher and Duff.
Do you think Chewy had come back after how we were Tret last time?
I don't think you can say how he was Tret. He left for more money.
No.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But,
he did leave for more money.
Yeah.
I mean, it is extremely tight down at the bottom. You look at Plymouth; they're on 20 points, and then Portsmouth are on 23. Yeah. So they're certainly not cut adrift. So if they get the appointment right,
look at the goal difference, -29. It's only halfway through the season.
I think at one point they hit like the most goals in one season. I think they got to like 50 or something daft.
Lizzie said, "Do you fancy taking County or Walsall's manager?" Yeah, that
can't afford that.
Can't afford that. And he just don't. He don't want a Scouse rat. That's it.
It's weird, Plymouth one, because if they get it right, they could probably stay up. But you look
like they did last year.
But you also look, I think selling Lewis Gibson, granted it was because it was a relief clause, Matt, you make your defence worse when you're leaking goals.
Mm.
And brought an attacking mid.
The one major loss they had is Cooper in goal.
Yeah.
He saved them more points last season.
Yeah.
Even before he got injured.
I hate to say it, that was a bargain for Sheffield United and all.
Yeah, it were. Yeah. The two best signings the Blades have made is Cooper and Burrows from Peterborough. Fullback. Yeah.
I won't lie though, lads. Looking at the top,
you'd have snapped the round off Jake, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. Looking at the top, I think Leeds will blow it again. I do not trust that keeper. If I'm a defender, I ain't trusting that keeper for a million years.
Also, don't you think they're suspect away from home?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They really, really are bad away from. The thing is, Leeds have got a really good home record. Home record's fantastic. Away, they struggle. There's no way you should be drawing 3-3 versus Hull.
No.
No, it was a shot result, wasn't it?
Yeah. It broke some hackers.
It did. But have you noticed the top four are pulling away? There's a 9-point gap between Sunderland and Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9-point gap between Middlesbrough and Sunderland, but the top four extremely tight, only 3 points in it. So anybody's game, isn't it?
It made for a very exciting end of the season, doesn't it?
I half expected Sunderland to sort of start. I thought Sunderland might sort of fall away a bit, but they haven't, have they? They've done really well.
No, so Sunderland are in that really weird bit where I think a couple of bit of quality, and they should be fine. Like you look at each team there. Leeds United need a keeper. Let's just call it that. Burnley probably need a
goal scorer.
A goal scorer, but they've got that in Ashley Barnes now. Might help them.
9 goals conceded in 26 games.
Don't need a goal scorer when you're only conceding 9 in 26.
Exactly. Sheffield United probably just need to get replacement for some of their injured players because they've got it's a mile off.
There at minute, aren't they?
Yeah. And they've just got the takeover as well. So they've got money.
It's probably difficult for you to say, Jake, but Wilder's doing a fantastic job with the squad that he's got at his disposal with the injuries and stuff. I think to still be
he's doing a fantastic job.
With a moany git.
They've lost that Harry Suter for the season, haven't they?
Yeah. He's doing a really good job. And what I think a lot of people need to remember with the Sheffield, they were -2 points at the start.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. HID said that Rooney's only 3 wins came against two of the top 7. It's mental.
That is mental.
Yeah.
And then James, Newport fan, said 9 in 26. We've conceded 9 in 3.
Yeah.
You've got to love football, haven't you?
Also, lads, Pompey are having a little bit of a resurgence. They're starting to pull away from it a little bit.
Yeah,
a
they
couple of wins
lost
last
today,
time.
didn't they, at Sunderland?
Yeah.
It's Sunderland, though.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I will say something. I still don't agree with what that Watford player did. I thought it was a bit naughty. I thought it was a bit...
Funny though, isn't it?
It's funny. It is... Oh, no, I'm not going to lie. It was funny, but I'm also at the same time like...
It's a bit unprofessional. I think celebrating
Yeah.
after a goal, yeah. I think after the final whistle, running down and doing it, it's unprofessional, but it's funny.
Makes really good stuff.
Okay, so that's the championship kind of done and wrapped up. Next week, when we're back, I know it's FA Cup weekend, but we'll go back to the usual format of kind of going into more
Back
of the weekend
normal.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
But moving on to League One, not quite as good a festive period as Chef Wednesday again, but
No.
one that started poorly and improved, but different to
Exactly. Well,
Chef Wednesday. You guys don't concede too many, do you?
Can you put our last 6 up like you did with that?
I'm all over it, mate. How was your Christmas anyway? And the New Year?
Quiet,
Everything
not
all right?
bad. I'm not a Christmas fan anyway.
Yeah, you lot just got
off-
you've got the PG version of what your Christmas was like.
Yeah. We started off with a really good 3-0 win over Northampton, who were really poor.
Sorry, Ian, one sec.
Sorry.
ATID is off for some food. He's in the south of France. Thank you for joining us, mate. And have a safe journey home when you do come home, and we will see you next Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Carry on.
That's all right. We started off with a really good 3-0 win over Northampton. Best performance of the season so far. I mean, Northampton were pretty poor, but we really played well. We got off to a belting start. Johnson Clark-Harris, Northampton came out thinking he were offside, but he were clearly on. And he just bagged a couple in the first half. And Andre Green, who had just spent, 11 months with an ACL injury.
He was out pretty much the whole of last season, wasn't he?
It was nearly the entire of last season. He started, and I think the whole ground were delighted for him when he scored.
I just realised he played for Wednesday for a little bit.
He did, yeah. And you can see by the stats, it was a pretty comfortable win. And our old player, Tom Eves, got a good reception because he's playing for Northampton now. We did.
I can't remember. Did you like Tom Eves or not?
I did, because he was a trier.
Yeah.
Quality-wise, not brilliant, but having said that, you got a shift out of him.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind him. So that was the good. And then on Boxing Day, the 21st, the next one. Oh,
sorry, mate. I was just reading some class.
Yeah, 21st. Absolutely awful performance at Mansfield. It weren't a very good game, to be quite honest with you. It was, if it weren't for Sam Nombe tried to clear a cross, but it went off the top of his head and put the Mansfield player clean through, and he scored. If it weren't for that, it had got 0-0 written all over it. I mean, we were poor. Mansfield were poor. I mean, to see the run that Mansfield's on now, they didn't impress me at all. Yeah, I am so, definitely. We never looked like getting back into it. We made a raft of substitutions. It was just an awful game. And that carried on to Boxing Day when we played Wigan.
Before you start on this, Clark Harris was ex-Donny as well. I was wondering, I'm sure. Thank you, Lizzie.
There you go.
It carried on to the winning. The Mansfield hangover carried on to the Wigan game where we were well beaten. And Wigan actually impressed me. I thought they played some really, really good football. They scored on the stroke at half time, but really it could. I mean, we got away with one here. It could have been more than one. It could have been 2, 3, 4. We weren't at the races, and by that time, the fan base had started to get a little bit worried and about sneaking back into the bottom four. But then we went to the Sunday, the 29th, and we played Stockport, who are having a really good season. And we were
Before you go on to
Stockport, Ian, before you go on to Stockport, John said that he's pleased that the sound effects are back. The other week,
yeah, they weren't great, were they?
On to Stockport, mate. 29th. Rotherham 1, Stockport 1.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get battered. And Louis Barry, who's going to be a hell of a player. He's going to be a top star. Brilliant goal to put Stockport 1 up. And we thought, here we go again. Stockport controlled the majority of the first half. We got back into it, another offside-looking goal, but as it turned out, when the replays were, Odoffin was onside. We sort of rode us looking a little bit into half-time, and then Stockport seemed to run out of steam second half, and we came more into it and could have won it. But that was a fantastic point against a team that were flying. So we were pretty pleased with that point. And then
how does
New Year's
Stockport
Day
go? How does Stockport go without Louis Barry? How does Stockport do?
They're going to find it. They're going to find it difficult because I think he was responsible for about half their goals this season. But the one he got at New York was a superb finish.
I think he got 14.
Yeah, that's not bad for December, is it?
I think what
will happen with Louis Barry, I think he'll go on loan to a championship club next.
It's a mixture of what I've read and what John told me. It sounds like Villa want to cash in on him.
What, to sell him?
Yeah, to sell him.
Well, I think he could command. Yeah. I think he can command 5 million plus.
So John said that Stockport were brilliant against Birmingham without Barry the other day. So maybe not quite the one trick pony or the.
Well, they're a good side. They're a good side. We are to doubt they're a good side.
Well, that's good. That means you've got something behind you. That's what you want.
Yeah. And then on New Year's Day, we went to Sue's Lincoln City and beat them 1-0. And
John
she might disagree with me.
A big question. Did you manage to see Fatty Fist Pumps?
No, but having said that, I never look. So
Liz asked, did you get to see Chal at the New Yorks against Stockport?
Thank God no. Thank God no.
I like that, Ian.
I would have been in disguise. But we went to Lincoln and deservedly beat them. I mean, Lincoln are on a little bit of a slump at the moment. They're still a very good side, but they're on a bit of a slump. I mean, 15 shots, 9 on target for an away game for Rotherham United. That is. I mean, their keeper made a little bit of a mistake for Joe Powell's goal, but before that, he absolutely kept them in it. Some really good saves. So I think it was, it was only 85th minute that we scored it, but I think we deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome, Rex. I know, John. Yeah, I know. We were absolutely gutted to lose him. He's a very good player, Ollie Rathbone. But pleased with that and deserve win. Really deserve win. And then we go yesterday to Huddersfield, who are in the top 5. A brilliant result again. And
Fantastic
also a decent return for an away side, 11 shots, 3 on target. And to be honest with you, you've got to be pleased with 2 away games against Lincoln and Huddersfield, 4 points and 2 clean sheets. Superb.
Yeah. To be fair,
I think that's
last 5 games only conceded 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, 3 in 6 games. Not bad. So the defence is coming together. And also, Cameron Humphreys, who is a centre-back by trade, and he were out of favour, and it looked like he was going in the January transfer window. I don't know, one of the coaching staff, I'm not giving either of the top 2 any credit for this, but they've lined him up as a central defensive midfielder, and he's been absolutely the best player on the pitch the last 2 games.
To be fair, when you come out of Man City, he came out of Man City's academy, didn't he?
Yeah, I did. Yes,
You probably lobbed at that position a couple of times just to see what you can do. So it wouldn't surprise me if he'd done it at some point.
He's been a revelation in that position. I mean, he was the man of the match by far against Lincoln, and he did well again yesterday at Huddersfield. So, Lincoln aren't on form, are they? Really?
No. So I've put the screen onto Lincoln because Sue's in the chat, and I think she said that she's getting ready for work. Getting ready for work tomorrow. So she's got a bit of time. It's all right. So she said, "Happy New Year! Happy New Year!" Sorry that she's late. Just getting ready for work tomorrow. Typical Lincoln City Christmas. Hopefully, you enjoyed Rob yesterday, Dan. Yeah, I did. He's only been with Donny for a day, and there's something about him. He's got a bit of pace. He wants to pull a player out wide. I think he'll be a positive signing for us, and hopefully we can kind of treat him like we did Adelaide and get the reward back for him.
Yeah.
We're seeing that Lincoln hadn't had a good time over Christmas. I mean, there's 2 standout results there, and that's the draw at Huddersfield and beating Reading. Standout.
So just before Christmas, it wasn't too bad, was it? But Sue said that she has every faith we'll come out of this dip and push on, but can't see where goals are coming from at the moment. We're devoid of confidence, but glimmers of it yesterday. And that was the 0-0 against Stevenage. You're making my eyes bleed. Take it down. We'll get through it pretty quickly. She also said that you did deserve to win, but you've got to hit bottom before you can come up, and they did that on New Year's Day. So a tough period for Lincoln, where they've failed to win in the last 4, got a draw. Birmingham in the FA Cup on Saturday.
Ouch.
And John said that they'll probably put their reserve 11 out, so we'll see how they do against Lincoln. But like Sue says, devoid of confidence.
I just don't understand that at all. I don't understand that at all. I mean, the FA Cup, to me, it's still a prestige tournament. Why devalue it by playing weakened sides?
They want to get out of League One.
I think Birmingham have got a squad.
I can understand that, but having said that, if they could quite easily get to a quarter final, whatever.
The FA Cup has lost that spark, and it has done for a while. The spark of the FA Cup have been going for a while, which is very sad. It's sad, and the problem is there are times where, depending last season I said about the FA Cup, I didn't want to be in it because we needed to concentrate on league. A cup run was the last thing we needed, but you've got to. But if you take that cup run and you go and do a Wigan or something like that I've done in the past, you then.
I mean, look at Lincoln the other year. They got the quarter-final on league side.
The problem you've got is the FA Cup has already been devalued for any lower league club because they took out the replays. That was crucial for clubs staying where they were. And now, because you don't have replays, some clubs don't get that experience of going, hey, we just got a draw at Old Trafford. You're coming to our ground in League Two, and we're going to do it. And you're not going to have that anymore.
No.
Yeah. It's a shame. John's come up with he has come forward with a good point, though, saying that when you've got a squad the size of Birmingham's, players like Dykes and Juki do need games. And it's a perfect opportunity.
They're not really a reserve squad, are they, really? I mean, let's face it, Dykes and whatnot will get into any League One side. They've just got a multitude of riches, haven't they, really? Yeah.
Sue said she's hoping that they play one of the under-18s, Zane Okoro, Starfer of the future, played in the FA Cup matches and beat Bolton and Wrexham in the youth FA Cup matches, scores for fun and plays like a man. There we go. And Lizzie says FA Cup has been devalued deliberately by the top teams.
I agree.
True.
I agree.
But you still get the final being contested every year by 2 of the top 8.
Yeah.
Look, you got to remember the reason why they've done it is because they're playing too many games. Yet then they put more European competitions in, so it's like
the poor little darlings. Yeah,
you're not playing too many games, then, are you? It,
That
I think it's a shame for the lower leagues and the traditional side of it, because there was always something really fun about watching a team get like either a draw at their place to take it to a big Prem team, like Bradford did for a couple of seasons. They were always doing
Do you
that.
remember
Chelsea
Bradford? Do you remember
Chelsea.
Bradford going to Stamford Bridge and hammering them 4-2?
Yeah.
John's dead. You've been
It
prime.
was
John's
open for
dead.
book anyway. And Lizzie said that you only have to look at Gainsborough, a local team. The FA Cup can still be magical.
Absolutely.
But,
and what a result against York yesterday in the trophy.
Yep.
They beat York in trophy yesterday. That was a superb result.
Cracking result.
Yeah. But yeah, John's in the chat. Birmingham have had a decent festive period, or since we last had a show. Beat Bristol Rovers 2-0.
By the way, I'm going to make this now, and I've had John on my channel before for talking football. He's very, very good at what he speaks about, and if he ever wants to pop on, let Dan know.
Yeah.
And I think you'd be really good to absolutely talk about Birmingham and stuff.
I think John's been on when we did a phone in.
Call
I'm
him
sure,
one.
I'm sure John's been on before.
I think he did.
Yeah. And to be fair, we're close to episode 90. That might end up being a phone in. Get a few people on. But yeah, 6 games, 4 wins, 2 draws, unbeaten in 6.
I'd take that. Yeah, I'd take that.
I'd certainly take that. We've got the other John in as well. So before we move on from League One, we will have a look at Wrexham, who are still keeping in touch with
it's really tight again.
Yeah, definitely. John's coming now that I've taken Birmingham down from the screen. Those Blues results look nice. 11 points for 15, on course to break the League One points record. Happy days.
Yeah.
Go. But yeah, Wrexham's festive period. Let's have a quick look at that, because John's in the chat, or he has been. I'm not sure if he's still here. If you are, let us know your thoughts on your last 6. 2 draws, 3 wins, and 1 defeat. And Barnsley looking good at the minute, to be fair.
They're turning a corner a little bit.
You know one thing that Wrexham are good at? Last-minute winners. They're absolutely brilliant at last-minute winners, aren't they?
John's happy. 9 points out of 12, not bad. Yeah, you can't
grumble at
that. Yeah. James is not happy.
Can't think why.
Wrexham only 1 loss in the last 10, so yeah.
I thought all Welsh football fans would like the other Welsh teams to do well, wouldn't you?
To be fair, I like seeing Yorkshire clubs doing well, but I don't like to see them doing better than Donny. That's the problem, and the majority are.
I'm not having that. He hates us with a passion.
I don't hate. Well, yeah. James said, "Trust me, we don't."
Moving on.
But no, with Wrexham, it's been a decent period for them. Barnsley are looking decent though. I think they've won the last 4.
Yeah, they're doing well.
They're
scoring some good goals as well. Some really good, well-worked goals.
Yeah, they got tonked by Leyton Orient, but since then, a 2-1 win against Bolton.
Kid playing a couple of games now, well, isn't he?
Yeah. Let's get him signed. Peterborough are struggling, but it's still a decent result at Peterborough. The 2-1 at home to Wrexham, and then 3-0.
It's all right saying Orient spanked him, and it was a surprise. But look at the run Orient's been on.
Yeah.
Well,
they've had an incredible run.
Really took off, haven't they?
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at the table before moving on to League Two. John has said a shout out to Leyton Orient, on fire, 5 straight wins. Last loss at the end of November.
Yeah,
I should have said. So we'll start down at the bottom of the table. Burton.
They're gone.
What, 11 points adrift?
Yeah.
Bottom 4, isn't it, League One? Yeah. So yeah, 11 points adrift. It's not great, is it?
Cambridge are not looking much better.
No, Shrewsbury as well. I mean, not bad form, but it's not enough really. They need to be doing a lot more.
Bristol Rovers got a new manager during the period when we were off as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, and they won yesterday, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, which gives them a 5-point cushion over
Peterborough.
Crawley,
Look where Peterborough are now.
Fergie in danger, do you think?
Well, his dad was here yesterday.
I hope not, because that normally means they're going down the Rolodex of Grant McCann.
Yeah.
I think their thing, they're missing Puku. And he's been out for the last
he's
3
injured, isn't he?
I think he's been out for the last 3 weeks. He's not meant to be back till March. And he'll be a free agent in the summer, so they might want to sell him now or put a new deal in front of him. Especially if they are looking that close at the minute.
Yeah, true. Rotherham, 16th. Thoughts on that, Ian?
I think we might avoid relegation. I'm not saying
Turn
we
your corner.
will, but I think we might. It's looking a little bit healthier. We're starting to put some reasonable form together and reasonable periods of play. It's not just all off ball anymore.
Let's give it till the end of January before he changes the method to. Can it be the end of May now?
End of January when we're back in 20th place.
It's been really funny watching your things that you call yourself, because they've been doom and gloom, and then there've been 1 week where they've been really happy, and then the following week you go, "No, I'm done."
Now the thing is, at the start of the season, I said that I would be happy with mid-table. So if we finish where we are now, I'll be reasonably content with that.
You wanted a season of having stability and building, and that's something you haven't had for the God knows how long.
I mean, it's all right. It's great. It's exciting for fans. Up, down, up, down, up, down. But you need some stability, like you said, Jake, to build. To put some foundations in place.
Everett, what are we thinking about Everett?
And Anthony from yesterday's game said that Rotherham didn't do too bad yesterday, but didn't hardly get any shots on target. Our main striker is out for the season. We're going to struggle to stay in the playoffs. So Anthony's worried about dropping out of the top 6.
Well, I'm going to say thanks for the 4 points. Anthony, thanks for the 4 points. We'll take them. Yeah. We've got 4 points out of them.
We'll have them. Lincoln have dropped down to 12th after their poor form over Christmas. Sue said we're still around it. Certainly not out of it. There's a lot of football still to be played.
Manfield have dropped out a little bit now as well.
But look at the form. 4 wins out of 5.
Yeah. But then Leighton
Orient's been incredible.
They've been amazing, haven't they?
They're like the Salford of League One.
Or the Doncaster last season.
Yeah, that's it. Top 6, Reading, Barnsley, Huddersfield, Wrexham in 3rd, Wickham in 2nd, who I think somebody said at the start of the video could be in a little bit of bother. Let me just scroll back up to the beginning. Yeah, it was Paddy Powell, wasn't it?
The loan players.
Window going to play a big part in League One, automatic spots, Wickham losing all of the loans. So, they
could drop.
Yeah, potentially.
Also, what happens if they lose their gaffer? We keep talking about a couple of clubs who haven't got managers. Who haven't got managers at the minute. What happens if someone goes, you know what, I'll have him?
Yeah, that's it. Birmingham sat pretty at the top, like John says, with games in hand, looking lovely.
I think the thing here that you're looking at for me is, I said it earlier, Bolton. How long has Everett actually got? Because the cracks are starting to show a lot more this season. And I don't think they'll give him another chance after this season.
They're very inconsistent. Very inconsistent.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. There's no 2 games.
No.
Of a run in the last 5. It's like looking at
Donny's form. So they're defeat. They're at New York next Saturday. So.
And you're also 35 against and 34. 34 against and 35 for. And it's like, that's not a good combination to have those close.
No, it's not at all.
I know how that feels.
So I think this is probably last season for Everett, maybe. We'll see.
It'll be interesting
because remarkably patient with him.
It'll be interesting because I think he owns a share of the club. Something daft. He's got like some sort of share in the club.
Yeah. Like John says, it'd be typical for him to shit house away up to the
it would.
This season.
Well, they're not far away, are they?
No. Every division's tight. On to League 2. So the results from this weekend are ticking along the bottom, but we'll have a look at Donny's last 5, it's been a mixed bag, really.
Bit of everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's frustrating being a Donny fan at the minute. His expectation has been kind of put right at the top from a very good end to last season. McCann came out and said that we've got the squad to win the league, but at the minute they're just not showing it. We've just not got the consistency. The defensive frailty is a little bit like Chef Wednesday. We're struggling to put the ball in the back of the net. I know we've scored in pretty much every game apart from the Walsall game over Christmas, but we're creating chances. Just we're very wasteful with them. Yesterday was a prime example of that, where Port Vale had 3 shots on target, 2 went in. We had 6 on target, 1 went in. And if we were a bit more clinical, we'd have got at least a point from yesterday's game. But then you look at Fleetwood on New Year's Day. I don't think we deserve 3 points from that. It was a game lacking real quality from either team, and we've got to win that.
Can I just stop you a minute?
Yeah.
Because we are in League 2.
Breaking news. Gillingham has announced John Coleman as the first team manager till the end of the season.
Ooh.
Ex-Aki.
Yep.
John Coleman.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's horrific. We've got Gillingham next. They're going to get the new manager.
Well, I didn't realise. Who were there? Who were at Gillingham? Weren't it Mark Bonner?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even realise they'd sacked him.
Oh no. Try that again. There we go. But yeah, our Christmas period started pretty well. 21st of December, 3-1 win over Tranmere, who are struggling at the minute. 3 different scorers, but it shows not a striker on the score sheet.
Yeah.
But this has been something that we've seen a lot of. We're getting plenty of shots off, but like I say, we're just being very wasteful with it. And something needs to change. I can't put my finger on what, because for me, we've got the squad capable of doing better than what we are.
Yeah.
But it is extremely tight. I'm trying not to grumble too much about it, because you look at where we were 12 months ago to where we are now, it's chalk and cheese. But there's just something that's not quite sitting right, be it shape,
I mean,
tactics,
there's
personnel,
some
setup.
results that you can really pass off. I mean, Walsall are flying at the moment.
Yeah. But
I mean, you can.
Colchester in good form. Colchester in good form. We went there, but the red card was comical. I think.
Yeah, I still don't know what it was for.
So it got booked for a challenge early on, and then it placed the ball down. The referees sprayed the foam a little bit further back. Gibson's not moved it back, even though he's been told so. Got another yellow for dissent. But
oh god,
it's a silly one. It's a real stupid one to get. But then you see it week in, week out. Players steal yards and don't get yellow cards. So it's the consistency or the lack of consistency which frustrates me. But
I think that's the thing with the whole refereeing thing, though. If it was the same week in, week out each game, you'd be like, all right, fair enough. But you don't.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, I did a festive football kind of fixtures preview where it had the Tranmere, Walsall, Colchester, and Fleetwood game in, and I predicted 7 points from the 12, and we got 7 from the 12, not in the order that I thought. I thought we'd draw against Fleetwood and beat Colchester, so I was quite happy with that. But then coming into Port Vale yesterday, they're in poor form. I think they'd scored 1 in 5 or 1 in 10.
It really dropped.
Real out of form, and honestly, they offered very little, and it's so frustrating to see these stats. 60 more possession. We've passed the ball a hell of a lot more than what they have.
Stats
Shots
like that, you should
6 on target.
Is it going back to your situation? You're just not clinical enough when you get your chances.
Yeah, it were smash and grab. Very typical Darren Moore, to be fair, where fairly solid defensively, really well organised, but I don't think we move the ball quick enough to pull them around, and I think that's where Ben will come in, Ben Street, and he'll start to kind of pull defenses about a little bit. But it's just real frustrating. Kind of the only way that I can put it. There's quality in there. We're saying so often it's going to click and a team's going to get an absolute hammering, but it's just, when is it going to click? And it needs to. I think we're lacking in midfield. For me, that's the main area where it's just kind of missing that middle third of the pitch. The defence put under a bit too much pressure sometimes. People aren't doing the jobs to kind of the ability that we've seen them do it previously. Just leaving players free in the box and stuff. It's just frustrating to watch.
Rob Street, you said Ben apparently.
Oh, Rob Street. he's only just signed.
Yeah. Hey, you got it right with 3 letters. It was just the wrong ones.
Yeah, all in the wrong order and the wrong letters. But no, it's just inconsistent. And I think if we start to hit a little bit of form, then we'll be fine. But it just showed we were second at the start of yesterday. We've dropped down to 7th today. So how tight the top of the division is incredible.
Get on sat in that record you did last season and just try and harness that.
Yeah,
that's it. I will have a quick look at the comments. I think we've got one for Notts County, so we'll get their fixtures up. There we go. Dale said, not too bad a Christmas for Notts, 12 points out of 15. As for yesterday, it was a routine win against a toothless Swindon team, and had the pleasure of Didsy masterclass in the beautiful game too. Yeah, he's looking good, isn't he?
He's a cheat code,
I'll go about to say the cheat code at League Two.
Yeah. Can I just say a little word about Bradford? Because I went yesterday.
Of course you can.
Go for it.
We'll have a look at their festive fixtures as well.
I was quite impressed. In fact, I was impressed with both sides, really, Bradford and Grimsby. I think it was a cracking game for the neutral. But I've seen Bradford twice this season, and they've won twice. I saw them yesterday, and I saw them at Tranmere when they beat them 2-0. So maybe somebody should buy me a ticket for Bradford more often. Bradford, good attacking team, but Grimsby sort of contributed quite a lot as well. It was a brilliant end-to-end game.
The big one there is the 2-1 versus Port Vale.
Oh yeah. And Chesterfield.
Yeah, proper good gout.
Good results there.
Yeah. While we're on Bradford, Neil said we've gone through that spell, Dan, not being clinical enough in front of goal, drawing games that we should win.
To be quite honest with you, I mean, I think they're a good bet for. I know they're not there at the moment. They're a good bet for the playoffs, Bradford. A decent bet to get in there.
John said that I did some video work for Rovers TV as well, so it wasn't all bad. No, it wasn't. It's just a shame that the result wasn't great against Port Vale. Got invited to do the Inside Rovers. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube yet. I will have a look after this stream. But yeah, really enjoyed kind of being behind the scenes on match day. Obviously, we played for Eves Trust and they set it up like a match day. And to be honest, it's very, very close. But the atmosphere and the noise that the fans make at pitch side, you can hear so much. It was deafening at points, to be fair, even though it wasn't a full house. So yeah, it was a really good experience. I enjoyed it, and hopefully I get to do it again. I think David's got plans in place to kind of pull the fans in and get more of the community involved, and that's kind of a big focus from Donny Rovers.
Good.
Getting kind of fan views from different angles, but then all the content goes onto the official channel, which is good. I think David's kind of, like I said in my vlog, he's elevated the content to a different level from
100%. 100%. He put idea to that club that have been things that other clubs should be looking at and doing. And you can tell that. I think the thing is, what you got with that, David, you can tell before he did this that he was a vlogger and someone who knew production. And he's just taken that and gone with it to a club level, which he's really good at his job. He's not got a problem if you speak to him. I think there's some media departments who are too gatekeepered. Yeah. And David is very much going, we are a community club. That is one thing Donny's always been well known for being, is very community based. They do a lot for charity. They do a lot for helping around the area. They'll have a lot of the team go out to schools to look after and do stuff like that. And I think it just goes into more of the same of what Donny does. So
Yeah.
the fact that they're willing to work with you and show and go, this is what happens, and help us out here just to do something. And like you said before, you don't get asked again. It was a great experience.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly that. In fact, I will ask you guys the question of the week that we asked the Rovers players for the Inside Rovers. So in the chat, the question was, how many holes does a straw have? While they're thinking about it, we'll have a look at Newport's fixtures. James has said, show our festive fixtures if you want to see some crazy results. Neil's gone with 1. Mark's gone with 1.
I think it's 1.
James has gone with 1.
Yeah.
1 is a consensus. I went with 1, but Siri says 2.
Oh.
There we go. Corbin has come in with 0. I suppose, yeah, if you've got, because a straw is a straw, if you've got a hole in a pipe,
Yeah.
then the pipe is burst. Yeah, it's a thinker. But Newport over the festive period.
Cheers, Johnny.
Well,
You've broken my brain.
Started with a 6-3 win over MK Dons, and then got beat 5-2 by Bromley, then beat 2-0 by Walsall, beat 2-1 by Wimbledon, and then was postponed yesterday. So real mixed bag of results for Newport.
Yeah.
John's put holes would make the straw useless. It would. Sue's gone 2-1 on each end. So yeah, it splits opinion. But yeah, mixed bag of results for Newport. I've just seen that we've ticked over the hour mark. That has gone really quick. So let's get this rounded up. We've got the EFL fantasy football to have a look at.
You don't need to bother with
that. I'm going to take a guess it's not going that well, Ian.
Not this week.
Corbin said, exactly. It's a pipe, so technically if it has a hole, it wouldn't work correctly. So there we go. But yeah,
Carlisle look doomed, don't they?
They look done, don't they?
They do. Swindon have got a gap over them, but it looks like they're wanting to recruit in January. Carlisle have already made a decent sign. I can't remember his name, but when it popped up on Twitter or X the other day, I thought that's a decent sign.
Yeah. That'd be successive relegations, wouldn't it? Because they came down from League One.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
I'm
did.
impressed with Morecambe, kind of what they're doing with the squad that they've got.
You mean Elliot Emberton?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, good player.
3.5-year deal as well.
Yeah. Neil said, "Shush, we have it. We have a week next Saturday." Harrogate's win has pulled them away from the drop a little bit as well. Moving up the table.
And Tranmere won.
Yeah. Gillingham, new manager. They will get that new manager bounce against Doncaster 100%. So they'll turn this current run of form around, I'm sure. Bromley looking good in 12th. MK, I'm surprised that they're in 11th, to be honest.
15th of March, Ian. Atkins Stanley versus Gillingham.
Oh,
that'd be good.
It's looking good for Bradford.
He'd get a good reception because he's loved at Aki, John Coleman. So yeah, he'd get a good reception there.
A great result for Bradford against Grimsby yesterday. Pulled them above Grimsby.
Good game as well.
Yeah, within 2 points of Donny with a game in hand as well. So yeah,
look at Grimsby's record: won 12, drawn 1, lost 12. They don't believe in draws, do they?
No, they don't at all. But yeah, once games in hand have been played, Donny
I won't lie. Look at the turn Salford have had.
Yeah.
Wow, I know.
They have really gone. Because if I remember correctly, we looked at them beforehand and they were near bottom.
Yeah. They've been kind of in and around the wrong end of the table for quite a while, haven't they? And then they've just absolutely rocketed up the league. So yeah, top 3 at the minute. Walsall, Crewe after their win today.
Walsall
So
flying away with
Look at
it.
that, though. Look at that with Walsall. A game in hand and 10 points clear.
Ridiculous.
Surely they can't screw that up.
Never say never.
Stranger things
Well,
have
yeah.
happened. Hopefully they can. But for me, from a Donny perspective, I look and we're on 40 points. They win their 2 games in hand. I think they're 18 points in front of us. That is a huge
incredible,
gap.
Isn't it?
When
be good for them because they've not had a push in a while.
Yeah.
No, they haven't. They've been in League 2 for about last 5-6 years, I think. Walsall.
Yeah.
League 2 for the last couple, and they've always been flirting.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's brought us to the end of going through the divisions. I'll get that off, and we will have a look at the fantasy EFL. So lots has changed over.
If we must.
Neil said Donny and Bradford will go up this season, lads. I hope you're right.
That'd
Neil.
be great.
Yeah. So having a look at the fantasy EFL, pretty much everybody's over 1,000 points now after Christmas. We've just got Max. I will be mentioning this to him, don't you worry. Still a couple of 100 points, about 100 points away.
I love how you went. Everyone's near on 1,000 points. Except my nephew. That was a proper dick.
Except Matt. Stags on tour and Intianan as well. I think Intianan joined quite late though, so
yeah, they did.
They're probably missing quite a few points. Moving up the table, if you see your name, obviously we're getting up the table, so you want to be as high as possible. Not too good for me. I'm in 18th, but I'll take that. I like that number. Just below Jonathan, Ian, you're in 14th. You've been consistently just above me. I've not been able to catch you.
There's not much in it.
Liz is in 12th.
Yeah, Lizzie up to 12th. Around the grounds is in 10th, but not much movement this weekend. Neil said a lot of my double game week players got the games called off.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I thought I was smart putting a couple of double game weeks in, but it didn't work. Adam in 4th, doing really well, 1,500 points, nearly 1,600 points. But
I didn't know where will it is. Bailey.
Bailey's always top. He's top of absolutely everything. 1,768 points, so absolute flying. So we've got some work to do to catch up with Bailey if that's going to change over the remaining 20 games of the season. Lovely stuff. So we will go around the screen. Any final words? We will start with Puncture.
Just look at yourself, make sure that you're safe at the minute because the weather's all over the place. It's not 100% sure what's going to happen. It looks like I've just got an email mid-show going, the school is opening at 10 a.m. I'm like, yay, I got a push chair and snow. Great, thanks. So I'm not looking forward to it. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like. We had a low day, but look after your friends, make sure people are okay. If there's someone you haven't spoke to in a while, go give them a phone call. Check they're all right because this time of year can be rough for people. So just check on your mates.
100%. Ian, any final words, mate?
I haven't missed these Sunday therapy sessions because it's been like nearly 4 weeks without one, and it's been brilliant. It's been brilliant as always. Really enjoyed it, and I echo what Jake said. Look after one another, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah.
Easy as that, and I echo what these boys have said. I have missed doing these over December. It's nice.
Is it a bit of a special next week? It's FA Cup.
Yeah. So FA Cup special next week, and we'll cover any of the other games if there is any. I'm not sure if there's any league. I'll have to have a look. But I know there is
one league game in League One, and it's Rotherham against Bolton.
3 points easy. You'll get Everett cry.
Yeah, I won't be there because I'm going to Brentford.
But no, I've enjoyed this. It's nice to get back into it. A little bit rusty, but I'm sure we'll be streamlined again next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about just having a chat and kind of getting stuff off his chest so we don't take it to work and ruin our week. So big thank you to, I think we were up at about 20-25 at one point.
Nice.
Thank you for spending a bit of your Sunday evening listening to us ramble on about football and getting joined in the chat as well. It does kind of drive the conversation every single week. It does mean a lot that you interact with us and you guys enjoy it as well. So I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic week and subscribe to Ian and Jake and myself, if you haven't already. If you're watching this throughout the week, get a comment in the section down below, and like the video as well. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday.